Hey, what's up YouTube? So I am finally back. I know I've been posting lately, but most of the videos have been short clips of my trip down to Atlanta, Georgia, not the normal educational videos that I used to post. So you can definitely expect to see some longer, better videos coming your way soon, accompanied with the same short clips from the trip. I'm going to start back up with a huge question that many people are constantly asking in this hobby, and that question is, how do I get rid of snails? And the best way to get rid of snails is to prevent them in the first place. What does everything need? Every living thing need? Food. Snails are not excluded from this. Many snails thrive when they get excess food on the bottom of the aquarium. You can get rid of any extra food by not overfeeding. I always like to say it is better to slightly underfeed your fish than it is to overfeed your fish. Also, when you do not overfeed, less of the food will decompose, which means there's less nitrate. Algae thrives off of nitrate, so if you feed less, you'll have less algae, which is also a snail food, so you'll have less snail food in the end. If feeding less does not get rid of your algae, then you can do a more routine water change, which will get rid of the nitrates, which will eventually get rid of the algae. And this can reduce the amount of snails in your tank, or even prevent them from reproducing in the first place. So a very common thing to do to kill snails is to use chemicals, but I'm not going to specify which ones because I personally am against that. In my opinion, if the chemicals are strong enough to kill snails, they must harm your fish or plants in at least some small way, and I definitely don't want to do that. And even if that's not true, I don't want to risk it. There are two other great methods to get rid of snails in your aquarium. The next option is to introduce predators to the snails. This is what happens in nature, obviously. Many types of loaches are known to eat snails and are a great option if you have a larger tank. Loaches also look really cool and are a good addition to any tank, really. However, some can get pretty big. If space is limited, I would recommend assassin snails. These guys will not harm plants, they look cool, and they will eat other snails. However, you need to be careful because they will reproduce a lot as well if not controlled. The good thing about them though is if they start reproducing a lot, you could just reduce feeding and they will actually turn cannibalistic and start eating each other, so it's easy to control their population. Lastly, but definitely not least, another way to get rid of snails is by creating traps. This is actually my favorite way if I am not able to get a predator. There are many different traps that you could either buy or learn to make online, and most of them are very cheap. My personal favorite is just getting a piece of lettuce and putting it into the tank and overnight letting it sit, and then in the morning a ton of snails will be on it and you could just take it out of the tank and replace it with a new one. If you do this though, you do need to be patient because you're not going to get all the snails at one go. It may take a couple weeks to actually happen, but it will happen to get rid of all the snails. And that will conclude the video. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I cannot believe we're over 400 subscribers. We actually passed 460 the other day. The support really means more than you know, and I really appreciate it. With that said, if you've not subscribed, please do so. And if you enjoyed this video, if you did not enjoy this video, maybe next time. But hopefully you stick around. Thanks for watching.